Welcome to the Strong Casuals. My name is Ben. This is Anthony, and next to us is the Chord King, Eric.
Yo, what's up?
We last week tried our 2 weeks ago now, I guess.
Yeah.
We did our watch along, which I thought was fun.
Oh yeah, dude. Movies rule.
Yeah, fun times.
I think that's a great movie.
Dude. Yeah. Let's just immediately get your take on the film. I mean, we
Yeah,
didn't
I
really
think it
talk about
was-
it except just bullshit through the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It rips. It rips
I
super
talked
hard.
way too much.
No, it's
I
what you're
think
supposed to
it's,
do during those things.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think it was for its time.
Yes.
Because it came out in, 87?
Yeah, 87.
I thought it was telling a story.
Dude, yes.
And it was probably a good story for the late 80s to have, any time, to have a
dude.
father rekindle
Yes.
his relationship with his son.
Everybody needs a dad.
Yep. Well, yep.
You know?
I don't do they?
Some.
Yep.
If he's a good guy.
Sure. Yeah.
And especially if he's a trucker arm wrestler.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think everybody needs a trucker arm wrestler dad. I think that's,
Dude.
and even if
I'd pay cash for one of those.
even if that's a third parent,
That's what I'm saying.
like if you have the standard nuclear family and
Yeah,
then
just
an
a legal
additional-
guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
A legal guardian father who shows up out of nowhere, just, picks his son up from military school and dude, what is that called? This
Kidnapping.
No, the machine that he was using. If it's not on a truck, what is that machine called?
Well, I don't really know. That
We don't
doesn't
lift
really
weights, people.
exist.
What?
But
It's gotta.
this motion is not that was not benefiting really. I mean, I think it's just going to give him some elbow problems. But
It's a tennis elbow machine, dude.
yeah. So if you haven't seen Over the Top,
Yes.
you should go see it. We're thinking about doing another one, Golden Arm, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, I think that looks like a legit movie, and
yeah.
you should just watch it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
went straight to VOD, but it looked like they put some effort into the movie. And there's some people in it that I find funny.
Yeah. No, I think it looks like I watched the trailer. It looks like a good film.
Yeah, this Golden Arm is a comedy as opposed to Over the Top, which was very obviously a full melodrama.
Yes. A lot of whispering. Lot of
Yeah,
whispering.
truly some of the Guinness World Record book's quietest dialogue by a human being of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Please turn the subtitles
that's-
on for that movie.
That's how it was advertised. The quietest sly.
Yeah, dude.
Like the sly whispers you through an hour and a half of arm wrestling.
It was the quietest before that movie, The Quiet Place. It's like the whole movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe that was the whole thing. If he was too loud. Okay. Yeah. So Golden Arm. We'll watch
Yeah,
that. I think there's some other options for us to watch. Like we could watch Eddie Strongman, and the documentary he did. I
Yeah.
mean,
Things
plenty of
Things
if
we could
people
watch.
want that, and
Yeah,
honestly, we don't know what we're gonna do. What we want, and
know.
so we could watch some of the other bodybuilding videos too. We
Yeah.
could watch all the, oh my god, all the pumping iron
Oh, yeah.
ones and some other things. But
There's plenty of content we could watch. I had a good time, and we enjoy shooting the shit.
Yeah.
There's only so much content that you can get through these different events and stuff. But we had a good time. It was a good time.
yeah,
Hope to
I
do
thought
it
it was
again.
good. So after that,
Yeah. What happened?
we had a
after that?
Giants Live event. We had the Strongman Open, or the 2024 Giants Live World Tour Open.
Right. That's an epic name.
And that included the log lift challenge.
I didn't get to watch this, so I'm
Oh
gonna
my
need you.
god,
I'm
there's
gonna,
the door.
I'm gonna need you to just mansplain it to me. The whole thing.
I'm not going to mansplain the whole thing to
How
you.
beautiful was it? Just another Giants Live event, right? I mean, it's,
Yeah, it was
they,
great.
So they
I
always
mean,
are great.
I am at this point probably a broken record, and for the 0.15 of you, I know you're annoyed, but they just know how to put on an event, man.
Yeah.
They it's packed. You got Neil Pickup and Magnus Ver Magnuson and a whole bunch of guys that are just Kaz was there, Kaz Meyer. I mean, it's just a collection of the greatest,
Yeah.
announcing and cheering on the next greatest. So it's a really cool thing. And they pack the stadium.
Every
People are
time.
cheering.
I know. How long was the event this time? They're pretty streamlined too. That's the nice thing.
Yeah, well, and they move and they interview and so you never sit there
Waiting
"Okay,
and
what's
watching
gonna happen now?"
breakdown.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna rag on King of the Table or East vs. West or something, but sometimes there's this downtime where
They don't have to
there's-
break down anything for
Right.
arm wrestling events. And
I know. I also feel for the athletes. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this,
No,
but
yeah.
like, so after every event, like someone was being interviewed that was just doing the event.
Yeah,
So like after
that's the way to do it.
it is, but like I can't imagine being an athlete
Oh,
being
I mean,
like,
yeah. If was it like a
like-
full length interview or like?
So in some cases,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, well, that's a
like,
lot.
So
There's one thing with getting a word, and then
Right.
there's one thing, but yeah.
or like and like post game, the game's done. You know, in
Yeah.
this case, it's like I'm done. This is the first event, man, and I still got to do other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
A couple of the interviews were like, it was really nice that they happened, but I could tell that the people were just like Luke Richardson, who is back, baby. A couple times they were interviewing him about like coming back and like overcoming all this like rough stuff and
Yeah.
doing awesome, and he's just like dying because he's just like given everything to this event,
Right.
and he's like, and I'm like, just give the dude a minute, like
Give him a breath.
like, and it's in some cases they're literally running, like finishing the event and then running over and immediately starting the interview. But it was a great event, or it was a great thing in general.
Yeah.
So they opened, the first event was the log lift. So
Okay, I was gonna say the log lift, the World Log Lift Challenge was just the start of the show.
well, and so what they did was they made the log lift the first event.
Okay.
So everybody competed in the log lift.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
That's just the way to
that-
do it.
Yeah, it's just that after everyone was done, Iron BB went for the world record.
Oh, okay.
And then he was done. He wasn't taking his boulder shoulders left to the other things. So they started with the log lift, and it was it was a heck of a event. Mitchell Hooper won it
Yeah.
because Iron BB wasn't considered like a competitor for the rest of it.
Oh, okay. He wasn't in the open. He was just
He was
at the
just
log lift.
yeah. So Mitchell Hooper won, but at the end of the event, that's when they had they had
Iron BB
Iron
came
BB
out.
go.
The Undertaker music came out.
so yeah.
Yes.
Iron BB's amazing.
We
He's
love Iron BB.
Burkina Faso, West Africa. The guy's like he's just insane. And as we've kind of known before, like log lift is his big thing. Like
Yeah.
that's his thing. If you see this dude's shoulders, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Like people talk about boulder shoulders. Like this dude literally has 2 Atlas stones
Tucked
and
under skin.
one under each of his elbows.
Yes.
And honestly, so he went through, like everybody threw up their weights.
So this is an
Mitchell-
overhead press for the log lift, World Log Lift. That's what it is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a big old log. Usually they like sort of like from ground to chest with like and then it's a movement, a press above your head.
Okay.
So they're going through. Mitchell Hooper put up 210, tied for first with Andrej.
Foitu.
And they looked good. It looked good. And then they started going up, and so Iron BB pulled up like I think it was 220. So they put 220 on, and it was like
How are they putting on weight to this log?
So it's like a long. It's a wood log, and at the end there are these like posts.
Okay, that's what I thought. And, they
And
put
so
weight
you
on
can
those.
just add plates to the end of it.
Okay.
And like he just put up 220.
Like with
It wasn't
ease.
like he picks it up, throws it onto his chest, goes all the way up, and it's done. Like there's no like struggle city. There's no like.
And that was it.
Well, no. So then he did
Okay.
220, and then they're like, whatever, let's do 231.
Yeah, why not?
So they threw on 231, and it was it was a solid lift.
Yeah.
He got it down command. He like it looked good.
Up on the first effort.
Yep. And it was
he's an animal.
insane. I mean,
He's such an animal.
It's and we were expecting to see him at the last Giants Live event.
I know.
And he kind of opted out, but like, okay, you want to come back a month later and put up 231? I mean, that's like,
And was Mitch and Foitu, were they like 210 was like a struggle, or like do you think that they both could have gone higher?
well, I think Mitch could have put up more,
Yeah.
but like,
Where did he start
Dude
again?
needs to calm down.
He does.
For those freedom units out there, that's 509 pounds,
Ooh. So then what did BB
which
put up?
that's insane.
That's what did BB put up then?
Yeah, 231. That's
Okay,
fine.
that
Yeah.
was the Jesus.
So, and then, so Mitchell and Andrej put up 210, and then there's a huge group tied for third at 185, which is still nothing to.
Okay. They just skip second because there's a tie for first. That's okay. That makes
So the way points are awarded,
okay.
they gotta.
I see that.
And then you got everybody out like as they go down.
Wait, real quick, we don't. I'm only saying this because I love Gavin. How was Gavin looking through the whole comp? Is another rough comp?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of. It was.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe I don't know. Ever since Gavin stopped, like in the middle of that,
he's just not been the same human being.
And not stopped, but ever since he like told the crowd, like apologized to the crowd. I don't know. I don't know if he's like in his head or what. I mean, he's a solid competitor.
Yeah.
He shows up to these events and he's a strong dude. I don't know if it's like a mind game thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, not his best comp.
Showing.
I mean, he I think he was in, unfortunately, I think he was in like the bottom quarter of every event.
Yeah, there's got to be something going on. But
he also doesn't have a ton of like, some of the other guys have a lot more social media presence. And so we know what's going on in their hood.
I know.
And Gavin doesn't have a ton. Other people do and sort of tangentially get him in on things. But
yeah,
I don't know. I hope he, I don't know, has some sort of triumphant return. And like we've said 1,000 times before, when you're doing these events like every month or sometimes like faster than that, it's
physically and mentally draining. I mean, it's
yeah.
everything. It takes everything your body can physically put together and mentally put together. So it's like, we understand.
And I mean, he's still showing up.
Yeah.
He's still putting weight up. He's still doing things that 99.99999% of people can't do.
I know.
But yeah, I don't know. He I hope he's doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looked good. There was a lot of guys that obviously plateaued at 185, which is totally cool, but a lot of those guys I'm happy to see back. So I think the sort of theme throughout this whole thing is going to be Luke Richardson, he's back.
You want him to be back so bad. If he did good, he did good.
Babe's got back.
Same.
And I like the way Alexi's going.
Yeah, no, I just seeing him in these. Yeah, dude.
He's sort of been he's been sort of been riding, and he's not. It's not like he's not on the podium this time.
Right,
but
right.
He's working his way up, and so I think that's good. But
that is good.
I love Lou Ridge. I love Petty Haynes. That dude's got hands. But okay, let's go through. So
yeah, arm over arm pull was the next event.
Yeah, so they had it's a truck. They put up lorries, 2 lorry.
Oh, that's right.
And then they just had it was a standard arm over arm pull. Luke Richardson was a beast. This dude is like, I don't know, he's just a beast. And now he's coming back from an injury, and I think he's better than ever. And he's athletic, he's tall, like he's just great. Most of these guys there's kind of like a standard form, or there's been a standard form in arm over arm, where you kind of like, essentially you use most of your body and you like push your legs out and you bring the rope with you, and then you gather up the rope, and then you push again, or you pull again, and then you gather up the rope.
Right.
And Mitchell Hooper, who we should probably rename this podcast just the Mitchell Hooper experience. He was watching so one of the benefits of placing high in events, you get to go last.
Yeah. Now, how does that work? It's individually for the event. Like if you win that event, changes,
and then your placement in the next one is based on how well you do in the thing.
So,
first thing,
you get to choose what position you go in, or is it
you just go? It's not. I think it's just the inverse. I might be wrong.
If you get first place, you get to go last next round.
Yeah. So
son of a.
Hooper got to watch all the guys, and I don't know if he made this decision ahead of time or while he was watching, but he knew how heavy the truck was. He knew what he was pulling training.
Yeah.
And so he made the decision to, instead of pulling and gathering, he just pulled
arm over arm.
He just did arm over arm. He didn't really involve his posterior chain much at all.
If you don't have to, you don't have to.
Yeah, and it worked.
I mean, heck.
So
it makes sense.
I mean, Luke Richardson blew this out of the water. There was nobody near him.
That's crazy. 2 seconds faster than Mitch.
Yeah. But he just went with...
Second and a half.
And they asked him about it. They were like, well, that's... I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it's a light truck. Well, no, that's a lie. They said, did you make this decision because it was a light truck? And he said something to the effect of like, yeah. I mean,
this is what
he
said?
knows.
Mitch.
Mitch said yes. And he said that every time you pull, you do that sort of like the pull and then gather rope.
Right.
Every time you're gathering rope, you're not moving the truck
it's
effectively.
a time waste.
And so he's like, I'm just filling that time. I think it's valid.
It's literally called, for this specific situation, it's literally called an arm over arm pull. That's what he's doing is an arm over arm pull.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
if you don't have the forearm cardio to do that the entire time, then I get it. But it's like, if you can't,
or if it's a really heavy truck,
right,
and you just can't do that,
exactly,
then fine. And I think most of these guys are used to that. Like they've been training, assuming because when they've done these in the past,
was this a lighter truck?
Like, yes, it was, and it was just like the cab.
Oh,
so like when they've done these before, if it's a plane or
right,
like a fire truck
you have to
with
gather,
like a tanker or something, you can't do that,
right?
But once again, the theme of this, like all of these events, is like guys like Mitch are looking at how best to do the thing.
Yeah.
And they do the thing as best they can.
Yeah.
And maybe that means interesting strategies. Maybe strongest man on earth squats are going to be with us for a while, I think.
Right.
But I mean, he did well. Everybody else also did well. Like it was a pretty solid.
I was going to say
grouping.
everybody seems to have done well.
It's all within like a couple.
Everybody finished it though.
Except Nathan Goltree, who was out after the first.
He hurt himself in the first event.
But I mean, it's fun to watch. I mean, that's definitely like
I like those events personally.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
No, I'm sure they don't.
There was an interview with who got
interviewed for
the
this
Albatross. No, this is a different. There's some other content.
Oh, I remember
Tom Stolman put out, and Tom Stolman was like,
I think it was for the Rogue Invitational.
Was it? I don't know, but they basically asked him like, "What do you think what's your least favorite event?" And he said pulls, heavy pulls were.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. Everybody has a debate about and then I mean, Evan Singleton doesn't like tosses or whatever. So I mean, it's everything.
I mean, yeah, obviously you shouldn't like what's like. I mean, maybe it's not necessarily what they're weakest at, but you can. I mean, everybody's a human being. You can have what you hate specifically or dislike.
It's also just a product of the ambiguity of the sport,
right?
Like it's just strongman, and there's new events all the time. There's old events that stick around, and so it's not like there's like it's. Everybody has their own definition of what's testing strength.
Yeah, and the new events are fun because like it just keeps it fresh.
They are. Yeah.
You got to keep it fresh. I agree. You can't be stale and you know, obviously a fresh event is going to be tough because you're not working it, you know, and it should be. And then there's stuff like this where it's like everybody was prepped for it, but then not prepped for a light truck, which is it's just interesting. It's like
yeah, I mean, you kind of gotta do what you can in the time that you're allowed, and it's, I mean, that novelty is what I think keeps us interesting, which I think is what you're saying. Like it keeps people like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
Right.
Because again, it would just turn into powerlifting. Nothing against powerlifting, but
right, it's a different thing.
It's not, you know, nobody has walkout music. Well. Most of the time,
there's definitely got to be some powerlifting. I know, but
there's no flag carrying or fog machines or anything.
God, that would be lit though.
It would.
During powerlifting, they should just always have a fog underneath. Like
they should.
The air, that would be so sick.
Just ominous fog all the time.
Yes.
So and then we moved into deadlifts. So
this is just a straight up deadlift, no elephant bar. Just as
it was 350 kilos.
Which was that, like 675
axle
pounds?
bar.
Like 3,000 pounds? What is that?
3,000 pounds? No, it's like what 7? I need a freedom converter. 771 pounds.
Ooh.
And it was an axle bar, so thicker bar.
Oh, okay, it was an axle.
Mitch Hooper won with 8 reps. Patty Haynes came in second, and then a whole bunch tied for third. Patty Haynes came to tango this time. Not that he always doesn't, but his like I love him because he's just like he's like a blue collar kind of guy.
Yeah.
who trains on his farm and and then just shows up and does these wild things.
Right.
And basically, if it involves grip, because him not doing the wrecking ball hold was the most fun thing to watch.
Yeah.
Because dude's hands are just like iron claws.
Yeah, because if this was just a regular deadlift, it would have been a different story, I feel. I mean, he could have probably still do the 7 reps, obviously, but
yeah,
everybody else would be a lot closer.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, grip being more or less definitely does change the field.
Well, and Mitch was last again, so he knew to beat 7.
Yeah, I think he had more in him.
Of course, I think,
but he's too smart to do any more than that.
Yeah, regardless, Mitch wasn't going to lose in deadlift, but
yeah, and a lot of some of the big deadlifters weren't here.
Right,
so,
exactly.
We didn't there's no half Thor.
Too.
You know, there's no half Thor. There's no Tom.
There's no Matthew Ragg. There's no
right. So there's a lot of some of the big deadlift competition wasn't there.
What happened to Maxime Boudreau here? He only got 1 rep.
Do
you know what happened?
I don't remember. Because he didn't get hurt because he came back and he did incredibly well.
That's
That's
why I'm wondering what happened here.
The thing I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's been too long.
Because who's to say? I mean, that could have changed his whole. He could have been 2nd place.
I don't know.
One event. That is interesting.
He's also a dude to well, they're all dudes to watch, but
I love Maxime Boudreau
some great
because
stuff.
he's one of the power couples in Strongman. Him and he's together with Sam Beliveau, who just won recently the Strongest Man on Earth women's regular event, I think. Something recently.
Yeah. Those Frenchies.
Yeah, and Maxime looks like the Tasmanian. He looks like the Geico caveman. He really is.
Yeah, he's mean looking. He's a hairy, mean looking dude.
He is, dude.
Is cool. He's fun to watch though.
He is
good.
This is interesting. This whole event right here. So what was the sandbag toss exactly?
So it was pretty standard. It was like 6 bags, and then they I don't know how high the toss was.
It's toss for height.
Well,
you
no, it's static bar. It's the same height. You just got to get all 6 bags over.
Okay, so it's a keg toss, but with sandbags.
Yeah. It's a sandbag toss.
Right. But I'm like, it would be pretty cool if we started launching sandbags outward instead of up. That'd be pretty cool. I need you to shot put
pumpkin
sandbags.
Chunkin kind of thing. Yeah, you could do like that. You could do a hammer throw. I mean, that's
Midwest
what
thing
that
you've
is.
ever said in your life.
Doubtful.
Pumpkin Chunkin needs to come back.
I think that's
it's still a
Easter, like an East Coast thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
If you don't know what Pumpkin Chunkin is, get with it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Giant air-powered pumpkin cannon.
Farmer ingenuity.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Sandbag toss. It's a vertical toss. Okay, not as cool, but
it was. Maxime did incredibly well. This is essentially like because it's timed.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a bad analogy, but
probably is, but I don't know any better.
Yeah. When you get to I'm sure this is for the 0.15 people, this will make sense. When you get to the peak level of some sports, it's not exactly how well the person does. It's how many people don't screw up.
Yeah.
So I know this is not probably the best example, but bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling right. At professional bowling, everybody always gets a strike.
Yeah.
And the only time you're going to lose is if you get one.
Yeah.
Or if you don't get a strike, right?
Right.
So sandbag tosses are kind of that way. Timed tosses are kind of that way. So you have your set of implements and basically it's the fastest person, but it's the people that made the least mistakes.
Okay, so that makes sense. But for example, for this, why did the people who got 5 only get 5? Could they not actually?
They just couldn't get the last one up.
There's
in the
only
time
60
limit.
seconds.
Right.
That's right. Okay, that's why.
So a lot of guys like that last bag. It's your heaviest bag. It's your 6th one, and you're trying
exhausted.
to get it over, and you just can't. So
that makes sense.
But the top 5 in this case. Well, no, not 5, but the top 3: Maxime, Mitchell, and Evan. It's down to, can you get these over without screwing up?
Yeah.
And I mean, Maxime won, but watching Mitch do this was beautiful. There was no mistakes.
Yeah.
He grabbed each bag, took a hop back over the bar, did the next thing, did the next, did the next. And
what did Maxime do what was his style then?
Same thing. It just again, didn't make any mistakes and did it faster.
Fellow Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah. Boudreau.
Canadian speed. As they say.
Dude, that's what the Canadians are known for. Apologizing and speed.
Said nobody.
But what was I going to say? They interviewed Mitch right after this one.
Did they?
And they were like, "How do you do it?" And he said,
wow.
and he like, he gave him a full explanation. He was like, "Well, in my gym, I don't actually train this event, but I know that if I toss the bag this number of feet in the air and it lands 6 feet behind me, I know the apex of the curve was the appropriate height." And then he's like, "Yeah," and then like so they like talked trigonometry for a moment.
Mitch really is the scientist of strongman, and that's why he's winning every comp.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's like sort of what this is becoming, and it's dividing people.
It is.
Because there's a substantial constituent that just is like tired of Mitchell Hooper.
Yeah.
And then there's another constituent that's like, he's just kind of doing it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's creating an interesting level of contention. I think I'm getting a little, I don't know how to say this politically. I'm just getting to the point where it's like, okay, Mitch won again.
Yeah. No, he is. I mean, he's winning every competition.
Yeah.
And I mean, once again, it's his analytical approach to strongman. Like, and Brian did the same thing for a little bit, but like this is something different. It's really just, it's absolute domination of the sport right now, and not necessarily by, like, he's not just like blasting six. He's not winning 6 events or anything like that. He's certainly winning events. Could he probably win every event? Probably. But he doesn't want to do that typically because he knows the exact amount of points that he needs, that he does for every single event, because he's winning those first couple events that really matter.
Right.
And
he knows he wants to win the comp.
Yeah.
And he knows how he's going to do it.
He really does.
And that doesn't mean winning every event, but it's like, and I mean, it's cool because we haven't, I mean, it's impressive at the very least.
Right.
That he's doing what he's doing. I mean, he's unbeaten in the last, I don't know how many comps. He's podiumed in the last.
He hasn't lost since Worlds.
No. Well, and before that, he was on the podium for the last like
his
18
podium
events
streak
or
is
something.
insane.
And now he's got world records under his belt, which is really that was kind of like the cherry on top was to get the press world record. So now he's just, I mean, his like, I don't know, his trophy room is busting at this point.
It's bloating because, and also, bro, he's not missing a competition. He's like at every single competition.
Yeah. And I mean, he's taking like a break here and there, but it's not really like a big thing.
No. And you don't see it on him the next event, the next comp.
Yeah.
You don't see
yeah. Oh,
like,
he comes back and he's new.
I'm sure there's wear somewhere. I'm sure, but he's just.
Is there?
I don't know. I don't probably. He probably doesn't need. No, probably not.
The way that he's looked the last 5 competitions, he's.
As somebody from the outside, I'm like, there's gotta be. I mean, come on.
He's just inhuman.
What is going on? This alien man is his recovery just so peak and perfect at this point? He has it like I said, I mean, he is like the scientist of strongman. Like he really is breaking it down so much to the point where nobody else breaks it down like that at it close.
Mm-hmm. I think
literally it was a physical limitation that he lost Worlds. Okay. And we're not to say that. Tom won, and who's to say that if Mitch's hands weren't ripped, God knows what would have happened. Tom also brought his absolute best to that competition, so it's like it would have been a crazy thing, but it's just like
I want to come back to let's do the power stairs, and then I want to come back to this conversation.
Yeah, let's finish. Okay, so sandbag, Maxime won, Mitch got second.
Power stairs were last, so that's like you're just picking up a T-handled weight, and then you have to take it up a set of stairs.
It's a classic Giants Live event.
And it's just sort of a good strongman event.
It is.
Maxime Boudreau did fantastic. Evan Singleton, this is a great event for Evan Singleton.
Yeah, it is. He always does well.
Like he has this ability to have like explosions one after another, and that's what you need in this. You need to be able to get everything. Or get the implement up each step, and he did really well.
Right.
Ivars did very well. Luke Richardson did very well. It was all like it was a solid event.
Yeah.
There's like there's significant time between first and last, but it was fun to watch. I like it. It's a good event.
Yeah.
And it pushes people.
Dude, it was like in the original like World's Strongest Man on like the stone steps, like where the events were carried, or like the competitions were carried.
Yeah, I mean it's a great thing. So this will take us back into this conversation because just like the Atlas stones, Mitch put one weight. So I mean by this point he's won.
After 4 events, Mitch had won the competition.
Won. It doesn't matter what he does. So he puts one thing up, so one implement up a stair, and then goes and cheers on his teammate.
It's just a weird thing.
Not really teammate. He's competition.
It is definitely his competition.
I don't like.
Who was he facing off against? Maxime.
Man, it was just on my head. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's just
the cool part was one cool part before I go into the me being sad moment. Evan was with
child.
Yes, and then he baby. Alexei Novikov and Trex Singleton were on the same thing. And Evan just blew through them. Yeah. And then so he completed all of them and then he cheered on Novikov and it was cool. It was but it was sincere and it was after he had just completed the entire event and blown it out of the water and then he's cheering on his fellow competitor. The Mitch just put it on, verified with the judge that that's okay. That counts. It's not a withdrawal.
Yeah.
And then ran around and cheered on the other guy. I just don't it gets me weird.
When you say the word sincere, it doesn't feel sincere when you just smash the competition and then you come around to give a round of applause.
Let's do it, man.
You got it, bro. You're actually, what would have got me more pumped up is if you were competing against me.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be oh, I'm running, which I don't do.
Right.
But
no.
Cardio is out of the question.
I know. Sauron.
Exactly. I deadlifted last night and it was great, but I will not run.
Right. I won't do any of it.
Yeah.
Sick.
My response to cardio lately has been I only run when chased.
That's a good response.
And let's be honest, something significant has to be chasing me.
I only run in my dreams.
Yeah. Oh. Good.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. We should start that. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Do the competition. And I know I get all the reasons why. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I get all the if I do it, I might injure myself, and that's going to prevent me from doing this other thing. It's well, dude, you've just won the last.
It's not going to injure you, bro. We just watched you smash 4 events here, 35,000 events the rest of the season that's been going on. It's you're showing no weaknesses. Why are we stopping 4 power stairs?
Yeah. Is it? I don't. Does it bother me because it's weird? Uncontrolled self-preservation. It's
Dude, it's certainly something wrong with us. It's certainly something wrong with us.
Yeah, probably.
But
I feel
we're watching.
Yeah, I know. But I feel part of strongman is having no self having no preservation of life. You just you have to go at it. So my I think we need competitions that can't be min-maxed.
Yeah, something.
I think we need competitions that are not.
You're saying you should be fouled for not.
No, I don't
finishing.
think you should be fouled. I'm just saying that we need competitions where you can't just not do the last event.
So what would you say to you being fouled? Say you have to finish all 5, or you're withdrawing from that event, and it'll affect your score.
Yeah, I got to think about that for a second.
Right. Well,
so. I mean, I don't know. My gut reactions. I'm not completely against that. You have to
It's just stopping stuff like that.
But but in his case, he did put an implement on. So he's he tried. He could be I can't lift anyone.
I saw no sweat.
I know it's right. And there's some judge who's you didn't give enough.
Give me your brow.
And it's your, yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
It's your high school gym teacher being you didn't try hard. You didn't change for gym. Yeah. You get a D.
Today is jump rope for heart, for God's sakes.
It's what's the the strength test or whatever?
This is the presidential. Yeah, dude. Those are important things.
I was the
dude.
I did the flexed arm hang.
Dude, if I got the kids got papers and stuff for doing good on those.
Oh yeah, medals and stuff.
I'm the president signed this for caring about how long I held my hang.
Yep.
Nice.
Absolutely, dude.
Dude.
George
bless
W.
America.
Bush was like,
He loved
man,
it.
this kid can flex arm hang for 15 seconds.
You kidding me? You see the wingspan on this son of a gun?
Yeah, right.
You see this bad boy?
Yeah, and if you win, you got a
Some back
piece
slaps
of
from
paper.
the boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Back slaps from the boys. You
Some
kidding me?
Cracking some cold ones on the Saturday.
You telling me you touched your toes and like your hand went
I know,
that
yeah.
deep?
Stretching was part of it. Oh, my
Yeah,
God, I
dude.
forgot about
the
that.
stretch
Yeah.
test was like, wow, this
Yeah.
kid is out of shape. Hello. That's what was going on there.
Yeah. It's like, are you really inflexible or does your body just not do that?
You're like, no, it doesn't. If I certainly can't stretch hard and I wouldn't the power stairs, it would be tough. It would stretch me out. It would stretch you out, actually.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing
So
it.
I don't know. I mean, I think like it's a weird era we're in. I think I'm excited to see a comp where we've got Tom, a healthy Tom, like a healthy Half Thor,
Yeah.
a healthy Mitch, and we get like
Healthy
and,
everybody.
and they're all like at it.
We're nearing the end of the
'Cause-
season, and it's like everybody's just so broken, like from the competitions that have been going
Yeah.
on. You know, Evans dealing with injuries, Novikov, Tom, everybody but Mitchell Hooper.
Yeah. Well, he's just
You think he's Russian?
he's alien. No,
You
he's
think-
Canadian.
You think he's a Russian?
We're always talking about Canadians, you know? It's either
It
we're
really
talking about
is.
Mitch Hooper, we're talking about Devin Larrett, we're talking about all the Canadians. They're doing it right,
That's
man.
true,
It's
they
just
really are.
pancakes and what's the chain restaurant that's like Perkins in Canada?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. That's the secret.
It's
man.
like Duncan, by the way, not Perkins.
Okay. Like Dunk's my bad.
Get it right. Don't be an idiot. It's not a sit-down establishment like that.
Yeah,
you
it
can.
is. Isn't
You
it?
can.
Is it you can sit down
You
at a
can
Tim
also sit down
Hortons.
in a Duncan.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know.
I mean, if you're willing to take that on. So I like I don't know. I think I'm
What's
glad
the deal
I'm
with Canada?
Maple.
It's got to be something in the maple syrup.
They're always saying I'm sorry.
Dude.
Sorry. I think I'm excited to
always
see.
sorry.
I want Half Thor back. I want Tom in there, and I want competitions that push people.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna like I think there's a lot. This seems to be, and maybe this is just me reading into this too much, but there seems to be sort of not two sides, but there's two different motivations in strongman. There's like, we need to grow the sport. We need to grow the sport. We need to grow the sport. So it's like, okay, now we have the official strongman games that can like route you into the big shows.
Yeah.
Right. So there's like guys that are coming out of there. Matt Ragg, great example, like hell of an athlete, comes out of, and there's all these regional competitions that are just funneling dudes into these big ones.
Yeah.
But like, okay, but I think we need to make these either hard enough sounds weird, but I think something needs to happen so these guys that are at the top
Yeah.
really they need to fight.
You think we need to raise the
And-
standard of each event?
Well, because like my initial thought is that, but then I look at something like The Strongest Man on Earth, and I'm like, well, damn,
It was like to a
Like,
deficit.
I mean,
They made
it's-
it a
it's-
problem.
It's like when you've got a field of dudes that's a weird. You have a field of dudes. No.
Not in my lifetime. If only.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah, right.
I know I will.
Iowa. No, I mean it's like I think. Then when you start getting so heavy, then you end up with these things where it's like there's like the top two, and then no lift, no lift, no lift, no
Yeah.
lift, no lift, no lift, or
Right,
it's
yeah,
like,
we
or it's
don't
like,
want that.
or it's like no lift, withdrew, and,
Right.
and then you're like, oh well, oops. So maybe it's not more weight. Maybe it's like I don't know. Maybe we need some more novelty in
Withholding
lifts,
weight.
right? Like I mean,
Withholding weight until the event.
yeah,
You
or
can do that.
the whole event.
Right.
It used to be the thing like
That's what I'm saying. Withholding all of the weights from
Yeah,
before
or
the
like
comp,
what they're
and then
gonna
you'll-
do.
Yeah, you'll get a range. It'd be standard range as to what strongman stuff is, and then you just
Yeah, I like
so
that
nobody
idea.
can practice so specifically for the things, and we have this specific issue that's been going on, and it's it's not even an issue necessarily, but some people are saying this, and
also like maybe it's okay that we just have a Mitchell Hooper era.
dude, you can't stop it now.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap, the
I know.
guy's just been.
I guess the better statement would be we need to accept
No, you got to at this point
that we're in
the
a
guy's
Mitchell Hooper
won
era.
all the things. You can't just skip the year and be like, what happened to those ones? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a Voldemort year. It's Mitchell Hooper. He just came and he showed up and he blasted everybody.
Well,
And
it's not his.
it's not his fault. He's doing everything. Once again, he's a
doing it
new
better.
type of strongman.
Yeah, and I think
And it's absolutely dominating this year. And he's a very specific human because he's the only kind of type of guy in his thing right now. Like he's the only that archetype. And it's
yeah.
I mean, who else is like him?
Well, I mean, I think you could. Tom. Tom's slightly less like athletic, I guess, but I mean,
But he's also like how tall is Mitch?
I have no idea. 6'8",
No way.
6'4", maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and like, I guess height does matter, but like, I just don't. What am I trying to say?
Don't know. 6'3".
Okay, so he's
like
I mean, he's not.
Average strongman.
Halfdoor's like 6'10" or something.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying, but Mitch is like average height for a strongman, and he's just like he doesn't. You wouldn't. Unless the guy popped his shirt off. I mean, you can tell he's thick. The guy's doing something, but it's like you wouldn't assume he's a strongman. I don't think.
I mean, his quads are hiding.
Like
He wears shorter shorts now, but like back before he like rocking the short shorts,
right?
When he'd wear like shorts that covered until like the top of his knee, right? And he'd like lift his shorts up and like, oh dear Lord,
right?
It's like, look at those. His quads are short too. He's got short femurs, so his quads are like, I know, they're just like cinder blocks.
I know. I know, dude.
Actually, they are like cinder blocks.
They are like cinder blocks. But yeah, this Mitchell Hooper era is real. Like I think this entire year has got to like bring a different approach to strongman. Like people need to start thinking outside the box. They got to do something. You got to do something else.
Yeah, and I think competition needs to be there.
Yeah,
like dudes need to, and they are taking it seriously, they are doing great things. But it's like. We need to.
We're still not touching Mitch.
It's funny because honestly, like, I'm not going to say it's the same.
Yeah.
But for our crossover listeners, it's kind of like the Levon situation.
It is.
It's like you've got these just like, alien mutants.
Yeah.
That are like destroying everybody. And right now we're kind of in a place where we're like, we don't have a lot. Like there are people that are fighting them.
Yeah,
it's not as clear cut as Levon because there's just nobody.
Yeah,
whereas in this, you've still got Tom, you still got Halfdoor.
You do, but at the same time, you do now while he's min-maxing events. If he wasn't doing that, he's still blowing everybody out of the water.
No, it's true. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
If he had to work through all 5 events, if he finished all 5 events, he's just going to get first in power stairs, and he's going to be way ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, I mean you're right. He's backing it up.
Yeah. It's like there's just too much of a gap. Like something needs to happen.
And maybe
it's getting crazy.
And maybe it's not weight. Maybe it's like we said, I don't want to repeat myself, but like different events or keeping them, not letting them know until the day or something.
Right. Like you don't want to be like, all right, now there's too much calculation within strong. It's like.
Yeah, because then it becomes a barrier in the I think the beauty of the idea behind Strongman. Well, I guess that's not fair because it started as just a novelty TV stunt. But like, I feel like the sort of the essence of Strongman is like we're trying to figure out who the strongest person is.
Right.
And we're trying to come up with events that are able to show us that. And so they have to be diverse in some way.
Right.
They're not. It's not like powerlifting has said, okay, well, squat, bench, deadlift. Those are the things that will decide how strong you are.
Right.
And this is like, okay, well, let's take
now
a
it's
bit
kind of
more
like
utility.
this thing where it's like Mitch is statistically the strongest man for this competition, and you're just like, very cool, very
sweet. I'm definitely gonna pay for the pay-per-view.
I know, it's just a thing. It's like you watched it for the spectacle, and
it's fun to watch.
It's still fun to watch.
And I think that but
when you get, I don't know if. From the spectacle to somebody just stopping an event and just because they won, they're like, actually, it's over. It was a spectacle, but on my terms, it's over. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine.
I don't know.
I paid the thing or whatever. It's fine.
maybe it's the hill I die on, but just put the things on the thing. Whatever,
dude. We are dumb idiots. We are strong casuals, but that's literally just do the thing on the thing. Like, what are we doing?
Slow as hell. Just like, I don't know.
Take 90 days long to put the 5 stairs up. Just do the stairs.
And if I'm like we kind of said, like if I'm the dude against you, and you're like you put one thing up and then you're running over because you know you won.
You know what it is?
Go away.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Like as that dude, you're like, thanks, man.
It's like if you're, it's like
especially watching your other buddies like get like solid competition between 2 dudes,
yeah.
And then you get up there with Mitch, you're like, am I getting Mitch again? Mitch is gonna do the thing.
It's like when you're you're in middle school track practice, and then like the high schoolers practice with you. And then there's like some like high school 100-meter sprinter that's like running in front of you going like, come on. And they're like, they're able to like talk to you as you're trying to run the 100 meters. They're like, good job, man. Good job. And you're like, just go away.
I know. Yeah. You can't do it to somebody who's like reasonably close. The only time you would do that in track, it's like a 2-mile. And there's somebody who's like 6 laps behind everybody else. And the final stretch, you cheer for them. Because you're a godly human being, okay?
Yeah,
and that
still feels a little weird.
It is. It's weird. They probably don't like it.
Yeah,
okay?
I'd be like, don't cheer for me. I have nothing to be. No, I'm just kidding.
But I have nothing more to give.
I have nothing to be proud of. But I mean, I like.
It's just weird.
Or he could even like lift it and like push the person. Like maybe not blow him out of the water, but maybe just like stick with him or something. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna die on the hill, but.
Hate us if you want. We have nobody who listens. Hate us, okay? I don't care. But it's just a weird thing.
They just don't like our laughs.
Yeah, so we have crappy laughs, okay?
Maybe my laugh,
I have a high-pitched laugh. Ben has a potato laugh. It's not a big deal, okay?
It's kind of a wheeze sometimes.
Ben has asthmatic issues. We're human beings, okay?
I don't have asthma.
We can have opinions, and it's just about, like I said, we're just people who we watch and we love the sport, and this is our opinion.
We're just people.
We're just human beings.
People liking people. So let's talk about what's coming up.
What is coming up?
Tomorrow.
Wait, so Mitch won.
Yeah, Mitch won.
Mitch won the competition. Who got second place?
He did. Maxime Boudreau.
Maxime got second. That rules.
And then Luke Richardson got third.
Awesome.
And Luke's been kind of through the grinder. Dude's coming back from injuries.
I mean, it's his first podium of the year, I feel.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. This calendar,
that's great.
And I don't know. He's back. He's a great dude.
Back again.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
And anytime an athlete comes back from a significant injury and podiums, like they deserve accolades.
No, seriously.
And in a lot of ways, in some ways, it's a bigger accomplishment than some of the other guys who are healthy. But
and Maxime getting second is huge too. I haven't seen the guy at a few competitions in the last couple of months, so.
Yeah, but he's been. I mean, he's big on
stuff.
social media too, and he's been kicking tail training. Man, the dude's like he's a machine, and that's also like it's cool that you can do that now. Like it's cool that you can be a strongman.
It is. It really is.
Clearly, you got to do other stuff unless you're Mitchell Hooper, but
right.
You got other things to do. So
yes, what is coming up?
So the not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that, which would be the 28th. Is the USA Strongman Champions and World Deadlift Championship. So the end of September is the Strongman Championships and the World Deadlift Championships. So I'm excited about that. If you were around Strongman for the great last deadlift debate when Hathor beat Eddie Hall's world record. Or did he? No, I'm not going to go there. But this should be really good. A lot of great guys that are going to be in this, and I'm hoping that we see a world record. I'm sure we will. It's really, honestly, nowadays, it's like, how much will it be beat by?
It really is. It's like every time there's a world record attempt, they're confident that they're going to do it. So,
well, and like just by how much? I mean, Iron BB beat it by 15 kilos.
Did he really? Jesus.
I mean, the previous was 215 and he went up to 231. I mean, that's.
And like, it's just a number. I'm assuming he's probably putting up more than that in like his gym, but it's like, I don't know.
Judging by the way it went up, yeah, he is.
Yeah, so it's just like some random number that they throw out. They're like, this is an appropriate number to beat it by right now.
Yeah, and I think it's like choosing your weights for powerlifting. He's like, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Do you think that Iron BB can grab an Atlas stone?
I don't. You mean can his arms come that close
Right.
together? I don't know.
I don't think they can.
I do. I feel like getting a hug from Iron BB would be like something to the effect of like being like strangled by an anaconda or something.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, it
just seems anatomically like he can't.
he's just shoulders. The dude
I
is just
know.
like shoulders and arms. He's amazing
Because they're
I
so
love him.
massive. I feel like there's got to be a limitation. I mean, he could press, so it's like
I had
he's.
a professor from Burkina Faso.
Did you?
Africa. Yeah.
There's an incredible long jumper, male long jumper from Burkina Faso.
Dope.
Hell yeah, Doug. That's my 2 cents.
Sweet.
They can long jump, okay?
Yeah. On the 5th of October, this doesn't pertain to really anybody but us, is Wisconsin's Strongest Man.
Oh.
I think we'll closer we get, maybe talk about that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe there's like a person from Wisconsin that's not related to any of us that listens to this. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's a cool regional thing. So deadlift championships coming up end of September. And then there's the World Tour Finals in October. We're getting a little out of things, but I do want to get to then in December is the official Strongman Games in Madison, Wisconsin, where we will be.
Snap.
And that should be fun.
It should be.
But really excited for the deadlift championships, or the deadlift championship. We'll see what numbers get put up. I think it'll be cool. It's stateside. It'll be a fun event. And we will talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I want to get some people. I've talked to Derek Hammond, so we can get him on an interview here pretty soon too.
Cool.
Because those interviews are fun, so that'll be a good time. But we're back forever.
We're back. We'll never go away.
Never go
until
away.
we're done. And you know what we always say?
Grab it.
Grip it.
Grab and rabbit.
Grip it and
Glove, love, no love.
grip
glove.
it and rip it.
Hit it.
Hit it.